Beyond the facial injuries, are there any other injuries you're dealing with?
Um, yeah, I mean, the body feels pretty banged up right now, but I can't say for sure how severe these injuries are.
You were having a lot of success with the kicks throughout the fight. Was that something that you saw going into this that would be a key part of your strategy, or was that something that just became available throughout the fight and you saw the success and kept with it?
Yeah, no. This is something we worked, we saw in all of his fights. He's really good at evading these kicks. We saw with Israel Adesanya, he wasn't very successful with his kicks because of Sean's defense. I got a few good head kicks in. I got a few good low kicks in. It was just the timing that we had figured out a little bit better than Izzy did in that fight. But yeah, anytime you're going to fight a guy with a strong and good jab, I thought, my coaches, Coach Manofa, so he's obviously a genius when it comes to these things. We looked at the fight and said, that's how we're going to take care of a jab. And those kicks did start to hurt him by round number 3. 100%.
Time in your career, can you just tell us, especially that going into the 5th round, sort of what your corner is telling you, and mentally, are you just on autopilot at that point? Like, take us through your emotions, just preparing for those final 5 minutes.
No, not at all. I mean, I went into the 5th round and I said to my coach, wow, can you believe it? I guess I have a gas tank. And he said, this is the last 15 minutes of your life. And I said, damn straight. And we basically, I was happy to be there in that 5th round. It was, damn, I feel great for a 5th round. When we went to the 4th round, I felt, damn, I'm going to prove a lot of people wrong tonight.
Drake is right here. At what point in the fight do you think you kind of had Sean's game plan and what he brought to the fight figured out? It seemed like in the 1st round he was kind of establishing the jab and whatnot, but the commentary mentioned that by round, maybe the end of the 2nd, you really started to get a bit closer to him and started landing more punches, and that continued for the rest of the fight. Where do you sort of think you figured him out?
Yeah, exactly that. I think the first 2 rounds we spent, and that was our plan, to fight his fight, to see where it is. Obviously, keep him on the back foot. It's a lot easier said than done to keep him on the back foot because he comes forward. And he has a very strong, how can I say, his march. He doesn't storm forward, but he has a strong march. The way he moves, it makes it hard to push him backwards. But I just kept on putting the pressure on Sean. Every time he jabbed, moving forward. Yeah, I took a couple of punches more than I would have liked, but keeping him, every time he hits, I move forward. And, even him being the cardio machine that he is by the 3rd round, you can't keep on fighting with that kind of pressure. He got tired. And that's where I really started landing more and more.
I think it was in rounds 2 or 3 when your eye started really swelling up. Obviously, I think you can see out of it, but was there any visibility issues, and was there a concern in the corner that it could get worse?
Yeah, I mean, kudos to the cut man on that. He hit me with a jab in the 1st. I didn't feel it really. I could feel he got me, and all of a sudden I just felt this thing in my eye, but it didn't hurt. And his corner screamed and said, he's already bleeding. And I thought, shit, am I really bleeding? And then in the 2nd, he caught me on this eye again, I think. And all of a sudden, this eye went completely shut. Like I couldn't see, and I was like, come on. One eye. And that was the first time for me in a fight where my eye was completely shut for a while. I couldn't see. And then I went back to the corner. They put the ice thing on it, and the swelling went down immediately. So kudos to the cut man, it helped a lot. And then I cut him. We spoke about it in the doctor's rooms, and I caught him with a big punch, and his eye started bleeding. And I looked at the blood flowing, and I said, I hope that goes into his eyes. And he said, and I look at him, and I'm like, that has to be in your eyes, come on. And he went like this. And I said, gotcha. And he tried not to, he said he tried not to wipe, so I can't see it's in his eyes. But then he started wiping, and I was like, yeah, well, now we're level. And I started, so I mean, but all in all, I mean, Sean Strickland's an absolute warrior, and world's respect for him.
What's the biggest improvement you think you've made over the past 13 or so months? And the reason I say 13 is that dates back to your fight with Darren Till. And that was a tough back and forth fight. You got to win, but it was not an easy one. and now you're knocking out Robert Whittaker. You're beating Sean Strickland for the title. What changed?
Yeah, nothing changed. I just got my ring time. I just got my octagon time and settled. Found a home in the UFC. Like I said, that's what I need. Found a home. We had some problems in terms of the conditioning, but we're fixed. I feel incredible. I think it's just about finding your feet in that octagon and accepting and believing that you're one of the best in the world.
I know you would have liked an early finish in the fight. Obviously, you don't get paid by the hour, but were you kind of happy as well to go the distance to kind of silence some of those critics that were saying cardio was going to be an issue in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big plus point for the fact that we went 5 rounds, is the fact that I could, hopefully my cardio is the discussion of the past. If not, keep on doubting. I don't care. At your own demise, of course. But, you know, if I'm going to do a decision like with the Brad Tavares fight, I said, if I have to go to a decision and I have to do it this way, any day of the week. I mean, I haven't watched the fight, but we got fight of the night, and it sounded like it was a banger. And in that case, I'm more than happy to go the distance.
How big of a boost was it? Your teammate won last night at Unified. You know, and that story in itself was kind of crazy with him coming to Toronto with you, getting the phone call, getting the fight, and getting a pretty big win there. How much did that kind of give you a little bit boost going into to the title fight tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for Mark. Mark Hume, I honestly think he's the next guy to come in. You know, he didn't get a finish last night, but, you know, it was a, 10-day notice fight for him. And he did what he had to win that fight. So I'm really happy for him, and hopefully he gets opportunity soon. And, you know, to be here representing my team, Team Shite in Pretoria, you know, so many people are looking up to me and going, if he's there, I train with him, I can do that. And that means the world to me.
And just last one from me. The crowd was chanting DDP. I know earlier in the week, you know, they're kind of pro Strickland, but how was your overall experience in Toronto? It really seemed like you won the fans over with that performance tonight.
Yeah, I love Toronto. I have to say it's amazing. I'm staying a couple of days extra. But yeah, I mean, Toronto, this whole week I said they might not be fans of me, but I kind of like it here.
Dricus right up front here. Just to sort of follow up on that question, could you sense during the fight that the support was changing a little? Because I could tell you, it seemed very pro-Strickland at first, and was till the end as well, but then your cheering section got super loud. Could you sense that while you were fighting?
Yeah, no, I heard it when they started DDP, and I was like, oh man, these guys ain't loyal.
If the UFC were to go to South Africa, would it have to be Johannesburg or Cape Town? Is there another city I'm just neglecting to mention? Would have to go to those?
No, yeah, well, it'd probably be Pretoria, Johannesburg, Cape Town, one of those. But I mean, there's a lot of great places the UFC can go in South Africa. And
there's been a lot of great athletes to come out of your country. Where do you feel this ranks you among the best athletes that South Africa has ever produced?
That's a very, very hard question. Right now, one of the best, and like I plan on being, I want to be known as the greatest ever.
Dricus, right here. I know you had mentioned a little bit ago maybe the possibility of the future being a double champion. That's an aspiration and a goal. The light heavyweight champion, Alex Pereira, was in Sean's corner tonight, and that news seemed to come out like a couple hours before the fight. Did you notice him there when you, I guess, were waiting for Sean to come out? And what did you think of Alex cornering Sean tonight?
No. I didn't notice him at all until I saw him in the cage after the fight. And, yeah, well, whatever.
Are you a little surprised that he would jump in there and do that?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, take all the help you can get, man.
Thank you.
Dricus, just looking back quickly on sort of how you got here, how cool is it? It's a bit niche, but is it cool to be the only fighter who's ever won titles in EFC, KSW, and now the UFC? Yeah,
that's pretty amazing. To go out and say every single organization I've ever fought in, I've been a champion, that's great. I mean, it shows consistency over a whole career. It shows consistency over my career since the age of 19. I've always had the aspiration, no matter where I am, no matter where I fight, to be the best.